Hello and welcome to the My Clayco studio. My name is Carla and today I'm going to be taking you through how to create polymer clay gift boxes. Now, if you have any of your jewelry items or giftware that you like to gift to people or you sell at markets, it's actually a great way to package them up in a cute little package or sell them as a specialty item for, say, someone who's having a special occasion like a wedding or a birthday coming up. Now, this is a great way to use up any scraps or extra polymer clay pieces that you may have had left over from other projects that you've been doing. It's super handy to recycle what we may have not been using into a new project. And honestly, the gift boxes are so cute and I'm very excited because I have a few different ones that I want to create today for specific reasons. Let's get into it. These are the 3 containers that I'm going to be working with today to create our trinket boxes or gift boxes. I've got a little metal tin, I have a wooden hinged hex box, and I also have a cardboard little container here. So I thought I'd use these ones because we've got 3 different materials, metal, wood, and cardboard, and I'll show you how I'm going to create each one of these, and I'll go through material lists for each one as I go. So these are all the materials that I'm going to be using today. We of course have our container. I'm going to be using our matching cutter for the container, but as like any video I say, you can use your craft knife just to cut out that circle or any other kind of circle shape. And this one here, obviously we're going to be picking up pieces, so tissue blade for that. I'm going to be decorating this one with some florals. So I've just got my stuff that I'm going to be creating florals with, but if you weren't making florals for the top of yours, then you wouldn't need all of this. You might need some other bits and pieces, but these are the ones I'm using today. So micro circle cutter tools, ball tools. I'm going to put some pigment powder on later, so I have a brush and of course my floral foam mat so that I can roll them out. All right, let's get creating. So I have the clay that I'm going to be putting on the top. I'm doing this one for a wedding and engagement ring set. It's actually to keep mine in. I've got a sapphire, so I'm going with a blue theme. Also, it would be cute as like something blue if you were doing this for someone's wedding as a little gift. So I'm going to just cut this one out. As I said, if you didn't have this cutter, you could just use a craft knife to cut out the same shape. But I now have my circle shape, and the offcuts I'm actually going to use because the flowers that I'm putting on here, I want them to not be this color, but let's say if I use this blue, it's a little bit dark. So what I'm going to do is mix this blue with a little bit of this periwinkle color in it so that it's going to carry the same undertones through it, which I have spoken about in one of our color videos, that if you mix colors, like a single color through all your colors, it will bring some cohesiveness to your palette. So I'm going to mix this blue and possibly another blue with this periwinkle so I can get that really nice, beautiful undertone from that base piece. This clay color that I'm using, the Cernit periwinkle, I do find sometimes Cernits can be a little bit oilier than using Sculpey. So I generally like to leach my clay. So I have mixed my clay colors, but I have them leaching at the moment. And all that is rolling out your pieces, putting just some standard printer paper on top of it, and that's going to draw out any of those excess oils that are in it. This is really important when making florals, because if your clay is too sticky when making florals, it's going to constantly stick to the ball tool. It's going to be really tacky and it's not going to work that well. So you just want to make sure that you give it, say, 5 minutes, leach the clay, and you should have a much easier experience when making florals. Okay, so I've waited a little bit and these ones are leached now. I don't know if you can see here, but oh yeah, on that side, you can see the oils that have come out now. So it just makes for a smoother finish and it's not going to be as tacky. So now that I have these ones, I'm just going to cut out some circles and then I'm going to get flower making. Okay, so I've got that one all done. I've decided against doing any leaves or pigment powders on this one. I'm just going to keep it really minimalist and simple. I did add some little caviar beads just in the center of those flowers, and I embedded deep enough that they're going to hold in. Otherwise I would use a Bacon Bond clay adhesive to be safe, but they're not wearable, so it's not going to be getting too much damage on them. So if you're worried about securing them, definitely put oven baked clay adhesive or liquid clay in there. But otherwise that one's good to go. Let's get it in the oven. So I have this one out of the oven now. I have already sanded the edges lightly, and I'm just going to glue it and adhere it onto here with some super glue. So the second one that I have is this wooden hex box. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I love playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I play almost fortnightly, so I need a box to put some of my dice in, and I think this is going to be a perfect little travel companion for me. And what I'm going to do is I actually have these snake pieces that I created that I'm not going to turn into earrings because I don't have like a matching set for them. But what I thought is on the wood, they do actually look quite cool just sitting on top. So I'm going to varnish this wooden box first, just with some wood varnish. And then I'm just going to adhere some leftover polymer clay pieces that I already had. So this is a great tip for anyone who has either broken one of their sets in an earring, or you've made something and it's not quite right for whatever you were doing. You can always just repurpose it, and we love repurposing things. So these were just sitting in a container in our cupboard, and I think this is going to be a great way to reuse them. Now we do actually have a matching cutter for this one, so if I did want to put a full clay piece on top, I could, or you could even cut out with a craft knife, but yeah, I'm just keeping it simple for this one today. Let's get varnishing. Now you could keep the box raw and not varnish the top of it, but I think for longevity, if you can seal your pieces, especially if it's just like a raw wood finish, then it's definitely going to have more staying power. I'm actually just doing this one in a clear coat, but if you wanted to stain it first as well to suit your piece, that would look really cool. So it's all up to personal preference with this one, and you could even paint it if you wanted to. Now the varnish does have a cure time. I think this one is about 16 hours and best to leave it for 48 hours. I am just going to adhere my polymer clay pieces to the top and then let it sit over the weekend so that I can use it from next week. So I'm just taking my little polymer clay snakes and I'm going to attach them with some super glue. Now the glue is pretty quick to set, so I'm just going to hold it down to make sure it's super secure until it's been a few seconds, and then I can release it. It's going to start the sticking process with that contact, and then it will fully cure over the weekend. The last one that I'm going to be doing is this cute little cardboard box. It has got an area on the top and the bottom, and we do have matching cutters for both, so I'm going to use those and do a top bottom kind of piece today. But again, you can just hand cut it out, or you can try and find something that's of a similar size. Now this one I think is very cute just for like an everyday piece. So I'm just going to make a nice little like trinket box for my daughter, just to store her hair ties and scrunchies in. And I have a very cute idea. So I've got some clay ready, as well as a little pink gingham water transfer and this star Cernit mold. And I'm going to show you a hack that I've learnt with this one to make really cool buttercream. All right, let's get into it. So the idea for this one is that it's going to be like a strawberry shortcake. So I'm going to put Sculpey light pink on the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to make it look like it's a little cake. So I'm going to put some cream and a little cream dollop with a strawberry in the center. The base though, I just want to make it something really cute and simple. So I am going to do this pink gingham on pink. I think it will look super cute. So now that I know where my pieces need to be, I'm just going to chop down the center here so that I can apply the gingham to my bottom circle, and then I'll work on my top circle with the faux cream. And so that one is all done now for the base of it. And I think it just is very reminiscent of like a strawberry jam jar. And it's in that really cute pink tone as well, which I'll carry through on the other side. Now for this side, I'm going to stamp out my circle as well, because I'm then going to actually put my little cream dollops around. And I'm going to show you a really easy way. Just with the Cernit star mold, or any kind of like star mold that you may have that has the same kind of indentation. And I'll just show you a really quick, cute way to make them. So to make the buttercream, I have actually got buttercream, Sculpey souffle, and this Cernit star mold. And we're going to be using the largest star here, along with a circle cutter. So I'm just going to go and condition this one, and then we can get started. So I have my conditioned clay here, and I'm just going to pop a tile off to the side. Now for this one, the Cernit molds are really nice and dense, so I am going to actually slice the excess off with the tissue blade without the fear of it going to be cutting into this, because it's a really high quality silicone. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my buttercream, and I'm just going to be popping it in here, and I'll just kind of eyeball how much I'll need. You don't need to go all the way to the edges with the star, you just need to press in so at least the center is filled. And then we're just going to cut that excess off. And now I've got this kind of star shape. And I'm just going to do that a bunch of times until I have a heap of them, and then we're going to form them into little cream puffs. Okay, I've got 13 of these cute little stars. I'm hoping that 12 will be enough to do the outside, and I'll have one for the middle. But I do have my clay and the mold on standby to the side in case I need to do any more. Now, the trick that I've learnt to turning these into what looks like cute little cream puffs is to, with this size, use an 18mm circle cutter. And then if I just get one of these little stars and I cut my 18mm, I get this kind of shape. Then all you do is you just soften around those edges. And that is like a cute little cream puff. So this would also be cute if you just had little star earrings that were also that kind of more chibi shape where it's got the rounded edges. And all I'm going to do is, rather than putting the point to the outside, I want to have as much of this to the edge as possible. So I'm just going to pop the two up the top and the one down in the center. And I'm just going to keep making them and putting them all around until I have all of my cream puffs on. So I should technically have room for one more in here. So let me just do one more. Hopefully that will fit perfectly, because I don't really want to have to maneuver all of them around, but we will see. All right. Do you fit perfectly? Haha. Yes, you do. Okay, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, only 10 needed for here. But then I will do the final one because I'll pop that one in the center. And let me test out with this. Let's see if I rounded the edges on a full star. If I can make a bigger cream puff. Yep, I think that one might actually work better for me for my big cream puff. So let me pop that one in the center. Make it look cute. Alrighty, now we just have to sculpt our strawberry and then we can pop it on top. So for the strawberry, I want to use this strawberry pip texture mat that we have. So I'm actually going to do the puffy fruit technique. If you haven't seen that video, I can pop a link for it at the end of the video, but all I'm going to do is just roll this one out quickly. I'm just doing like a dodgy rollout just so I can you see that? Get a little bit of pip texture on. Now, I'm going to take a strawberry cutter and I'm going to flip it over so that the pips are in there. And then I'm just going to feed my clay in so that I get a little bit of puffiness going on the inside. And this will make it look like it's 3D, but I can still use my cutter and my texture mat. And then all I do is I put down my clay and I'm just going to make the meat and cut it out. Now the tricky task of getting it out of my cutter because I didn't burnish. Ooh, there we go. So that now is a cute little textured strawberry. Now I just have to put a little bit of greenery on the top and then that one can sit on our cake. Okay, and that one is now done, so we can pop that one in the oven. I have my pieces baked, cooled and sanded. They can pop in both ends of the trinket box and fit perfectly, so they're not going to be coming out. I would super glue them though if you did hand cut them because they might not be a perfect fit. And if you didn't want to have any movement in your piece, I would recommend super gluing as well, but otherwise that's them done. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video today and that you possibly have a new fun craft project that you can do with things that you might even have at home already. If you had any questions or comments about the video today, we'd love to hear them, so you can always drop a comment down below. And of course, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy it, so we can keep bringing you more awesome polymer clay videos. We'll see you next time. Bye.